Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. So today I was thinking on just doing a little quick contouring video for you. This is just the way that I do the contouring on myself and other clients. Sometimes my technique differs from time to time. It's never the same. I like to change it up and switch it around sometimes, but I'm sure most makeup artists do that. They don't just stick to one thing. So I'm just going to show you what my current routine is at the minute. All I have done is my brows, my foundation and my eye makeup and a bit of lipstick. But I haven't done any highlighting, contouring or no concealer either. Because the concealer that I'm going to use, which is the Unique wee concealer, I love this wee concealer line. I've been using it for the last couple of weeks and it's really good coverage. I don't need a concealer with it. I use it as a highlighter for under my eyes, my T-zone, a little bit on my cupid's bow as well because I have a really small lip. But I'll show you how I do that, okay? So because the tube is sort of small, you kind of think, right, you're not going to get much product out of it, but it actually goes a long way. So instead of putting it on my hand and wasting most of it on my hand, as you can see my foundation, there's still some on my hand and it's a waste of product in my eyes. So concealer needs to go a long way, and this wee tube is probably going to run out really quickly because I use it a lot. So what I like to do is just get right up into where you want to conceal and highlight at the same time. Just a small little bit on each side. That's probably a little bit too much, but I'll show you what I'm going to do with the leftovers in just a sec. So now just getting a concealer brush or a flat wee brush like this. This is on the double-ended blank canvas foundation brush. It's really handy for traveling. I love this wee brush. So what I'm going to do is work in a triangular motion. If we went in a circular motion under the eye, we all have a circular motion already there. Sorry, not a circular motion, but a circular, your eye is circular. My words are not working for me today. So I'm bringing it all the way out here, which is the top of my bone, on my cheekbone. And I'm just bringing that all the way down. And I don't want to get too close in there. Ruin our lovely eye makeup. Do the same on the other side. Bringing that right out to where your cheekbone is. This is going to act as a highlighter. Now this is where you would do your cream highlighting as well. Just look at that for coverage. Like as I said, I probably used a little bit too much, but with the leftovers now I'll show you what I do. Just on my T-zone I want to highlight. You really want to highlight any areas that the sun would naturally hit off. So usually on the face the sun would hit your T-zone, your under eye area, your cupid's bow and your chin. Those are the main areas that the sun would naturally hit, and that's called your highlight points. So now using my foundation side of this brush, I'm just going to blend this out very lightly. Very lightly. We don't want to take away from the look either. And when it gets right up into here, I'll get closer for you. I'm just going to very lightly. Now you can blend it out with a damp beauty blender. That's perfectly fine, okay? Excuse me. But this works if you haven't got a beauty blender or you don't like a beauty blender. I don't know if I like beauty blenders yet. It's not, I don't know. So again on the other side, notice that I'm only blending out the outside corner of that highlight. I'm leaving the middle area completely free. I haven't blended that at all. And same on this side, just lightly blend it into your eyeshadow underneath. Now don't worry if you need to go back over that eyeshadow. It only takes 2 seconds, it's fine. Don't worry about it. Okay, now we've got our concealer on and blended quite nice. Okay. So now at this point I powder my whole face. Powder that I'm going to be using today and what I've been using for quite a while now and I really love it. It smells beautiful. Is the Makeup Studio one. It is called Silk Perfection and it is just amazing. You can get it in the Makeup Studio with Paddy McGurgan in Belfast and Newry, and there's one in Derry now too. Woo-hoo. So excited. So with my powder, because our concealer and our highlight that we just did is quite thick and creamy, I always pat on my powder. Just pat it on everywhere because we need to get it completely silky, as the powder says. We need to get it really silky and smooth before we do any powder contouring or highlighting. If you're doing a powder, highlight or contour, your face needs to be, your foundation pretty much needs to be, you know, set and needs to feel really, really smooth, like velvet smooth, like really, really nice. My words are not working today. It's probably because I haven't eaten today. But Emma. But I was doing up my makeup room for you guys and my clients, of course. So I look forward to showing it to you whenever it's done. So now I have patted on a good amount of powder. I'm going to go in circular motions and getting right in there and making sure that everywhere is nice and even and smooth. This powder smells amazing. Anybody who knows me knows that I smell products before I buy them. I know I'm a bit weird, but it's part of the fun. Is there any other makeup artists out there or people that just smell makeup before they buy it? Am I the only weirdo? Oh well. Okay, so what I want to do now is pretty much check if we're ready to add or highlight and contour powder. And how I do that, getting the last one in, and how I do that is what I usually do is get my finger and just rub down. If there's any bits on your face that's still quite sticky, that means your foundation is not set. You need more powder. It's usually under the eye area that still remains a little bit sticky. And you really need to set that under eye, because if you don't, then we end up getting a lot of creases here throughout the day. Yeah. Okay. Yep. So we're good to go now. If I was to put my powder on it, like I said earlier on, if I was to put my contour on now and it was still sticky, then it would just leave a dirty mark. So it's good that all this is nice and powdered and ready for our contouring. It's still such a big popular thing, as well as the new things. There's always something. Okay, putting the powder brush down. So next, what I like to use for my contouring recently, and again, I've been using it quite a bit, as you can see from my palette here. This is a really nice highlighter. It's almost a dupe. I don't want to say. Okay, I'll say. It's almost a dupe for the Pippa palette. The highlighter in her palette is amazing. It's so pigmented and it's so shiny and really, really nice. This highlighter is just the same. Well, I think it's the same, but I can't tell anybody. This is the contouring, the darker one, which is the brown. I really like that colour. It's kind of like a chocolate brown. It suits most Irish tones here, so I use it all the time. I have other darker ones for other dark skin types and stuff, but this one is really popular and I love it. It's just amazing. And then you have a little blush on the other side, which is quite handy, although I don't really like the blush. It's too shimmery and I don't like shimmer in my blush, but it's still nice all the same. So this wee palette is just the Sleek palette. You can get that in any chemist at the minute. I think it ranges from €14 thereabouts. Still good value. So what I like to start off with is my highlight. So I'm working from light to dark. So getting my highlight colour, and plus you're using the one brush. So getting a little bit of the highlight and just feel for your bone. There's your bone. You want to go right on top of the bone. That's so nice. I really like this highlighter. And the same on the other side. You can just leave it at your cheekbones if you just want to highlight those. There is other places you can highlight as well. Tip of your nose, a little bit on the forehead, a little bit on the bottom of the chin, and your Cupid's bow. Same as what we did with our cream concealer. The only difference is I don't highlight under here. I have seen people who highlight under there, and that's perfectly fine. There's no wrong or right way of doing it. But I personally think that that's too much shimmer, and I would just like to stop just at the end of my eye is a good indication of where I stop with my highlight. And that's just my personal preference. Everybody's different, like I said. Okay, so using the same brush, just rubbing off whatever's on it, because I don't want my contour to be shimmery in any way. If I wasn't to do this, it's quite messy. I usually rub it on a bit of couch roll or towel, something that you have handy. Rub it out. Get a new brush if you want, but I like to just use the same brush. Okay, so using the same brush, going in with that contour and colour. Now our contour is just here below our highlight colour. You need to feel where that bone is. So there is the bone, that's the top of the bone, that's where we've highlighted. We're going to go directly underneath, which is about there. That is where my cheekbone is. That's the hollows of my cheek. That's where I need to create the shadow. Contouring is about creating shadows and highlights. We've done our highlights. Now we need to do our shadows to bring out those highlights. So I like to draw a little line first. Up and down, up and down, up and down with our powder. Make a duck face if you want. Okay, so you've got kind of a line here going on. Next, what I like to do is build on that line and then very lightly blend it. Pull it up the way. We're lifting our cheekbones. We're giving the illusion that the cheek is thinner. So we're just pulling that up. Okay. Do the exact same on the other side. I'm so used to knowing where my cheekbones are, so I know where to put my contour. But if you're first time doing this and you don't know where your cheekbones is, then feel for them. It's your face. Feel it. Okay. Then little blendy blend. Another place that I like to do is the top of my hairline. Be very careful if you've got blonde hair that it doesn't look too dirty. A little small bit. We're creating a little shadow. We're not creating a dark line, just a shadow. You can go mad on your cheeks, but don't go mad on your... And see this? Double chin. Okay. So I'm just going to darken that contour just slightly now because I think that it needs to go a little bit darker. So what I'm going to do, instead of going all the way out, again I'm using the end of my eye as a guideline. I'm just going to go at the very back of that contour and feather up a little bit of colour. So it works dark, fades off to light. So it's almost natural looking. Okay. Okay, so another place that I always do, and you probably know this from my previous videos, is my nose. My nose is crooked. Can you see? It goes off that side. So what I do with that is get a small fluffy brush, get my contour colour. It's a lot easier with cream contour, but nah, we'll do it with the powder for today. And I'm going down the side that's most crooked, which is this side first. And I'm just creating a straighter line. And because we've highlighted there, we already see a huge difference. I could contour one side and that would be fine. Nobody really notices my crooked nose in pictures, but I do. And then I'm cutting off the top because I don't want it too long either. And that's all you really do with your nose contour. The more you bring it in, the thinner it'll be. You need to be very careful with your face shape. Look at your face shape and then you'll know where to contour. Okay, so that is our contouring done. So just to finish off this wee look, I am going to use the same brush and I'm going to get a nice wee blush. These are my most common blushes. This one's quite pinky toned, but there's a peach inside it, which is quite nice. And this one is a peach. I love peach. Peach is my favorite blush. Out of all this, peach is my favorite. So I'm going to use peach. Mainly as well with this look, I've used oranges on my eyes, and this is quite like a peachy pink lip. So peach would go really nice. So we'll go with some peach. Using that same brush that I rubbed off, by the way. Okay, so we don't want to cover our highlight and we don't want to cover our contour with blush. If you go too far or too much with your blush, you will end up taking away all that hard work that we've just done with contouring. So what I suggest is just a small bit, just right there where your apples of your cheeks is, where you smile. And I don't mean rosy and gym cheeks, I just mean like a little feather of colour, and bring it in towards your highlight and your contour, but you're not going past. You didn't go over this way when you did your highlight and contour, you used it for a thing, so use it as a guideline for this area as well. If you're doing the blush here, don't go past the end of your eye. Feather it in. Make it glide. Make it glide. Yes. Okay, so that is our blush done. That is the finished look. You could put a little bit of lashes or whatever on, but just for the contouring side of it, that's how I do my contouring. And if you like this video, can you give me a little thumbs up from Ireland? I'm still new to the whole YouTube thing, so be kind. And also editing and things like that, and trying to work out which works better. But thanks for watching, and add me on Snapchat, Facebook, Instagram, the whole works. You can add me and you can find me and see more of my stuff. I will try and get a video out every week, but we'll see. I'm a busy lady. Alright, okay, so thanks for watching and I will see you next time. Bye!